I don't know about you, but I have made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I can probably put a lot of them down to not being prepared for the situation. A lot of them I shouldn't even be here. I mean, I should have died on a boat. I should have put my head through a window, through the car with no seatbelt. I mean, I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. I'm not going to go into those things now. I'll wait till we have a few drinks. When I was a kid, I was a singer, and I was really good. Just putting it out there. I was very, very good. Like, I sung at the Opera House, and I won at Stedfords, and I finished my diploma in music before I even finished high school. I had a diploma in music. I did a lot of practice to that, and I was, training a lot with professional music instructors, and then so in year 10, when my three best mates were like a drummer, a guitarist, and a bass player, we thought, hey, fuck, we'll put a band together. How good would that be? So I had this year 10 performance, and I'll never forget it because I was up there and we're singing Something for Kate, the Three Dimensions. That song, great song, obviously. So I'm singing away, and I'm not going to give you a rendition right now because it's a bit of a...
You're a really good singer.
I'm a really good singer. Did I tell you that? Really good. But so anyway, I got up on stage and I'm singing the first verse, nailed it obviously. It's the chorus, fantastic. And then the second verse, I lost it. It was gone, completely gone. I had 300 people staring at me, and I remember my throat dropping down to my stomach, and I just petrified. It was gone. And I remember staring at my dad at the back, and he got really grumpy with me when I didn't try. And my mates just yelling out like Rob's on the drums, just saying, "Sing, sing!" And I was like, "That's really helpful. What are the fucking words?" It was terrible. So I learned the lesson from that day, not to turn up to a gig without the words, obviously, and to practice. I think when we talk about in teaching children, making mistakes, learning from those mistakes or readjusting and then trying again is one of the main ways that children learn. And it's one of the ways that we need to encourage children to learn. Obviously they watch people as well, and you tell them instructions, but they learn through making mistakes. So when I started GrowFit, I made a lot of mistakes as well. I have some good things like the space adventure, the Space and Back, the multi-sensory. That was one of my first games. It was just me up there going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off, and now it's structured. We've turned it into something, and I'm actually looking at maybe turning that into a virtual reality experience as well for the kids, and maybe having having virtual reality goggles, and we can grow from there. But I also had terrible games. Like I thought it would be a good idea one day to have 15. I had 15 2-year-olds, and I thought it'd be a really good idea to try leapfrog. Now, leapfrog with 2-year-olds, you get two outcomes. You have kids jumping over. Does everyone know leapfrog? We all, yeah. The premise is one kid's on the ground and the other one jumps over the top. Yeah, it's really, really good fun until one baby jumps on top of the other and smacks heads. And then that's one option. The other option is me underneath 15 babies on top of each other, which is really cute and fun until they start standing up, and then they smack heads and then they cry. And so you have both options leading to 15 crying babies, and rightly so. I've just told them a game that has made them smack heads. And then you also have 3 very pissed off educators who now have to settle these 15 crying babies. So I've learned from my mistakes, and we've grown as a company. Like that was 10 years ago. Those 15 crying babies have now turned into 2,000 children every week. Less crying, hopefully. There'll still be some crying. No, Gareth makes them cry, yeah. We've trained over 10,000 children. 10,000 children have gone and experienced a GrowFit program in some form, which is incredible. So we've learnt from that. And I think it's important for us to take a step back and go, no matter how good we are, we still need to learn from our mistakes, and we still need to keep trying to make mistakes and pushing ourselves so that we have the best program and we are the best instructors. In order to do that, after today's training, you're not only going to be able to know, but you're also going to demonstrate using this template, this 5-step template of how to set up and demonstrate any age group, any gross motor activity in any situation. And you're going to be able to do that in under 1 minute. Whoa, what if the kids are like, little shits? What if they're running around, and what if they're not paying attention? Well, this is what I'm going to try and teach you. We're going to try and teach you the steps. And it's not going to happen straight away. Not every single class is going to be able to be set up and demonstrate in 1 minute. But if you follow these steps, then your class will be more coherent, it will flow better, the children will understand you more, and they will listen. And everyone from you, the educators, and even the children are going to have an absolute blast for your whole class. You ready for the 5 steps? That makes sense? You ready? I think most of you are probably doing this anyway, but if we have a system, we have a template of how we do it, then that way we're all doing the same thing and we know that we're all trying to give the best in our classes. So step 1 is have the children sitting on a mat. There's no coincidence you guys are sitting on a mat today. You're sitting down, you're concentrating, the cool kids at the back standing up, not listening. It's fine. But you're sitting on a mat. They're in a confined space, they're listening. Every childcare centre will have a mat, usually outside. You pull it outside, you get them sitting on the mat. If they're on the same level, there's less chance that they're going to kick each other or get distracted. If they're sitting on a step, on 2 different steps, you'll start seeing them kick each other and they'll roll around if they're on the ground. Where if they're sitting on a mat in the same place, you know, parachutes are not too bad, but they can get distracting as well. I'd still use a parachute if I have to, but a mat is ideal. Okay, step 2 is assess the ability of the class you have. So we want every gross motor activity to have a purpose. We assess the game based on their ability. So if you've got a bunch of 2-year-olds who are not going to have the coordination and the concentration to stand in a hoop and hit a tennis ball out of their hand, then don't fucking give them a tennis ball and a tennis racket and make them stand in a hoop, because you're going to spend half your time chasing after them and going, no, we're standing in the hoop. If that's the case, give them a tennis racket, give them a soccer ball, and maybe get them to bounce to start with, or get them to pass the ball to each other, or set the soccer goals up. Come up with a game that is right for their ability, and it's going to make your life much easier, and it's going to make them build their confidence to the point where they can stand in a circle and hit it out of their hand. Does that make sense? Yeah? In the same token, if you've got you know, a bunch of 4 or 5-year-olds and they're playing hockey, and like the week before, you know that they hit the hockey sticks out of the hit them out of the park, and they were fantastic hitting off the cones. So why would you do that again the following week? You know, push them further. Draw some lines on the ground and get them to dribble the hockey ball along the ground, or do a relay where they have to dribble the ball around the cone and then pass the hockey stick to the next person. We're assessing the ability of the class and giving them an appropriate leveled game for them, and that's going to make your classes run much easier, and you're not only benefiting them appropriately, but they're making mistakes based on what they can do, and they're going to get better and better and better. All right, step 3 is interact while you're setting up. We're always interacting. At no point are they sitting down and you're just off setting stuff up, because they're kids. They're going to get distracted, and they're going to start kicking each other or rolling around or look at that blue car. That's what happens. But if you interact with them, if they're little, maybe get them to sing a song, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, A, B, C, D. Get them to sing to you. Ask them what we learned, what we spoke about in the worksheet. How many hoops am I putting out? 1 hoop, 2 hoop, 3 hoops. So we're interacting the whole time. At no point is your mouth shut. The whole time while you're setting up, you're interacting with the children. That make sense? Yeah? Fantastic. Step 4 is the 3 Ds: dive, duck, dodge. Beat you to it. So the 3 Ds: describe, demonstrate, and demonstrate again. 3 Ds. Describe the exercise. So we are standing in the hoop. My feet are facing the T-ball set. My eyes are looking at the ball, and I'm holding the bat with 2 hands. And you can, if they're older, you can ask them, where are my feet pointing? This way. Where am I looking? At the ball. Again, we're describing, and then we demonstrate the activity, and then we get Luke come up, and he's going to demonstrate it again. So we describe, we demonstrate, and we demonstrate again. Okay, that way the kids are comprehending. It's all happening within that 1 minute period. So it's nice and fast, but your point is across and they understand what you want them to do. And the final step number 5, is correct their movement. If they don't know how to swing the tennis racket, if they don't know how to swing the baseball bat correctly, or even stick their foot out to the side, grab their foot, twist it around to the side and actually show them the movement that you want them to do. Obviously you're not doing it rough, you're doing it appropriately, but we're trying to get that muscle memory. So the only way to sometimes is to show them is to actually physically show them. You know, get them to feel that movement so they know what you want out of them. You know, so sometimes that's all it takes. You know, we want them to do the task independently. That's our goal as an educator and as a trainer. But, you know, there's a point in which they can do by just guessing or watching others, and then by us helping them along that, you know, in order for them to get to the next level. So does that resonate with everyone? Love it? Excellent. We can do that in under 1 minute. Do you need me to do it first, or should we get straight into it? Demi, do you want me to demonstrate? Yeah. You want me to demonstrate? What? Who's something? Is there any what's left in the pack?
Sack races, 10 all-stars, beginner level.
Fuck, piece of cake. So your beginner level all-stars. So start you off. You're all sitting on the mat, obviously. Hey guys, hands on heads. Hands on shoulders, wiggle your ears, blink your eyes, stick out your tongue, and say, Big Fit is fun! Big Fit is fun! All right, today we're playing sack races and we're gonna do a relay, okay? So we're gonna have 5 cones. How many cones have I got? 1, 2, Dave, you said it's a timer. 3, 4, and 5 cones. And then I've got 5 cones over here. I need 3 helpers. Can I get Nathan and Brooke and Mark? Come sit on this cone over here, Nath. Brooke, you go behind him. Mark, you're here. Now, the first person who's gonna put their sack on. All right, we're gonna jump around the sacks. I want you to come around the first cone, all the way back, and then you're gonna pass it to the person behind you. Are we ready? You show them what to do. Brooke, you're sitting on your bottom. All right, ready, set, go. Amazing, and then we'll switch it over. You sit down, and then it's my turn, mine and Brooke's turn. You ready? Let's go. Jump, jump, jump. Are we understanding? Does anyone have any questions? No? All right, let's go. And then I'll call up my people, and then we'll call them up, and everyone will have a turn. So you do it just like a half. You don't get everyone up to start with. You wanted to see what you want them to do. All right, all done in how much time?
I was
19 seconds.
No, you're actually under that.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah. So it can, like, you know, so does that make sense? So yeah, it's not going to happen every time. But if we follow the steps, we get them sitting on the mat so they're listening. We assess their ability, so it's not just jumping around, we're actually making it a little bit challenging for them. We're interacting while I'm setting up. We're describing, we demonstrate again, and then we correct their movement. Obviously, I don't need to correct their movement for jumping in sacks because that'd be a bit weird. Any questions? No? Good. You ready to go?